Hey everyone, welcome to the Leasing Highway, a podcast focused on the heartbeat of the apartment industry and brought to you by the Apartment Association of Metro Denver. I'm one of your hosts, Ian Andrews.
And hello, I'm Karen Gladney, and this is our season 2 finale. And we are so excited to be welcoming Angela Fletcher, Director of Housing Management for the Denver Housing Authority. Oh my gosh, so excited to have you here, Angela, and also current president of the Apartment Association of Metro Denver. So excited to have you here. And just to kick it off, we'd love to have you share your background, your story. You've got an amazing career. So just share how you got in the industry and just tell us about your career.
Sure. So first off, I want to just thank Ian and Karen for allowing me and inviting me to this wonderful podcast. So it's exciting, and I always love telling my story. It happened 33 years ago. I was this cute young thing trying to decide what I was going to do in life. And so I was 23 years old, and someone from Archdiocesan Housing, that's where my first gig was, at Archdiocesan Housing. They were building a property at 34th and Marion, which has a high minority population there, and they didn't have any minorities on their staff. And so you think about DE&I now, in 2021, and yet, people were visiting that back 33 years ago and beyond. And so they had asked, did I want to come and open up this lovely new senior building? And I was 23 years old, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to be around a bunch of seniors, old people. I was young, and I said, oh, well, I guess I'll just try it. And they said, come and try it. And look, 33 years later, I'm still in the business. And I think I chose the right profession. No 2 days are alike. It's always exciting and different. And I think that's what captivated me, is that, it's just different, and you're making an impact on people's lives, because of the population that I currently work with and have worked with all my career is the low income population. And to be able to make a difference in their lives is just phenomenal. And so I say, when I retire, I want to write a book, and it will be a bestseller, because of all the daily things that you come across. And some of them are tear jerkers, and some of them you sit back and you're like, this can't be. And it just makes you laugh. So I think I'm going to be an author after I end my first chapter of my life, which is this, and then write a book, because there have been some amazing things that have happened throughout my career. So that's my story, and I've been just about dibbled and dabbled in just about every position there is. So I've been an HR person in the affordable industry, hiring people. I've been the assistant to the executive director. I've been on the real estate side and helped develop and build some properties. So I've really touched it all. And what I really like is working with the people and taking care of the properties. So, yeah.
Awesome. No, that's a amazing story, and what's so inspiring, I guess, about your career path is that we've had a ton of people on the podcast and talked to a ton of different people in this industry every day, and so many of us have that passion around affordable housing, and it's such an important thing for all of us in the industry. But for you, you've really dedicated your entire career to affordable housing, and how phenomenal that is. And would love to just hear a little bit more about your passion for creating affordable housing.
It's when people think of like public housing or subsidized housing, they think it's just decrepit, not kept up well. They're like the lonely stepchildren of the properties. Nobody cares about them. Nobody cares about the property. And, my philosophy that I was taught, and I still carry it to this day, is, if you don't want to live there, why do you think somebody else should want to live there? And so that's the mentality and the philosophy that I have carried with me throughout my career. And just because they don't make a lot of money or have to rely on government assistance doesn't mean that they don't deserve the best of the best. And that's what I like about affordable housing and working here at Denver Housing Authority is we have properties that blend in right in the community, and no one would know that they are subsidized. No one could pick out and say, oh, they live in subsidized housing. They have this negative mark on them. They're just like you and I. We have doctors, ex-lawyers that live in our properties. We don't know what brought them to that circumstance to have to rely on subsidized housing. But thank God that we are around to be able to help them. And so that's just the passion that I have, that we want to provide the best of the best. And when an 84-year-old, I go to the properties and they say, hey, Miss Fletcher. And I'm like, hey, Miss Smith, how are you? And she comes crying. I'm like, what is wrong? Are you okay? And she says, no, this is the best housing I ever had. And I just want to thank you. And if it's taken her 84 years to get the best housing that she's ever had, and I can be a part of that, my heart just bursts. My chest just bursts open with just pride that I'm able to help people like that, have safe, decent, affordable housing.
Wow. Hearing you talk, one, about wanting to create a place that everybody would want to live in, right? I think about when you have bosses that say, I'd never ask one of my team members to do something I wouldn't do myself, right? Similar along those lines. And then when you talk about ex-doctors or anyone, having housing and shelter as part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like we need that. And it doesn't matter if you're spending $500 or $5,000 a month for that home, that need, and that's yeah, just hearing you talk about that is really beautiful. And the story of I'm sure many residents have come to you and said that, not just that one example. And that's what's so powerful, is to create that home that people take pride in and they're proud of. For you, when you look back over your career, what do you see? And I'm sure you've seen so many, but what are some of the biggest maybe milestones or accomplishments you've seen for the affordable housing industry as a whole?
Just taking it up a level and having them blend into communities where you have an apartment complex. It could be 200 units in there, and you do have doctors and lawyers that are living there, and they're paying the market rent, but yet you also have low-income units in there for a mom and her 2 kids, where she may be going back to school trying to, obtain the ultimate dream of owning a home, but this is a stepping stone for her. So to be able to provide that and bring in resources here at DHA, we have a home ownership program, so that over the past several years, over 200 people have obtained the ultimate dream and have purchased their own home. And so we give people the ability to get a step up by being in affordable housing, and then also having the program to show them how to budget and improve their credit score so that they're able to obtain that home for their children, and then to be able to leave some sort of legacy to their kids. And so just having the ability to provide the housing and blend it into neighborhoods, and also provide the programs that will help them achieve their ultimate goal, whether that's buying a home or just going back to school and getting a degree.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. I mean, I think it's, affordable housing is really so much more than just a roof over your head, but you guys really take it to this whole path to a future and to something that's long lasting rather than just at the time of the moment, and that's incredibly powerful, and love that. On the flip side, first we're going to take a quick break here, but on the flip side, what I want to ask is, what are some of those gaps and opportunities that you see in affordable housing? So we'll give that question to you here in just a second after our quick break.
This episode was brought to you by BetterBot, multifamily's leading automation solution. Marketing in the multifamily space can get overwhelming. BetterBot takes away the headache and helps teams save time. BetterBot helps the renter gain up-to-date information about the community 24/7, 365. It also helps nurture prospects throughout the leasing process, giving site teams more time for what's important, being human. For more information on how to get started with BetterBot, head to betterbot.com.
Welcome to your beautiful new apartment home here at Gables Point 14. As you can see, we're featuring this beautiful one-bedroom den.
Welcome back, everyone. So let's look at, we just talked through some of those big accomplishments and what affordable housing can do. And on the flip side, curious on what are those gaps and opportunities for the affordable housing sector right now?
So obviously some of the gaps are that we need more affordable housing, and for the federal government to provide some additional funding to be able to subsidize building of those properties. Construction is very costly, and if the federal government could provide additional funds to increase the housing stock, the affordable housing stock would be, I can't say enough. Every year DHA opens up their wait list, and we open it up for 2 days. In 2 days, we get about 23,000 people apply for housing. And so that speaks the need. And it's not just because of COVID, somebody may be thinking, 23,000 people, it's because of COVID, loss of jobs, this, that, the other. No, COVID has no bearing on it. Like I said, situations change. It may be a household that has a mom and a dad and 2 kids or 3 kids, and they divorce, and now the mom is a single mom or the dad is a single dad, and he can't rely on that 2-person income anymore because they're divorced. And so they rely on us to be able to find some affordable housing until they possibly can figure out their situation, get a better job, get the kids in daycare, etc. So to be able to increase the housing stock for affordable apartment communities would be great.
Yeah, that's you hear that message. I feel like we've heard it a lot, just being part of the apartment association, and it's a discussion that you hear everybody talking about and is passionate about solving, and it's it's just one of those things that we're all hoping for and after. Talk about your presidency here a little bit, Angie. Pretty special. Being the president of the Apartment Association. I had mentioned it on another one. Between the 6th and 7th, Chris told me that it goes back and forth between the 6th and 7th largest, but talk a little bit about what that's meant to you as being president.
It has meant a lot. I am so grateful for the Apartment Association of Metro Denver. For one, for having the insight, the foresight to bring someone on board who has that affordable component, because it is new to the Apartment Association as well. But to make that acknowledgement that they have members who operate affordable units, affordable properties, and then put someone as their board chair who works for one of the biggest, I should say the largest housing authority in the region, just speaks volumes. I think they were very intuitive when they were going through their thought process and what makes sense. And I am just amazed at what the Apartment Association does and how they make decisions that are very pertinent, not only to what is happening in the community today, but it carries us forward to be able to have that trajectory to bring awareness to not only the state of Colorado, but throughout the nation. You know, I heard from somebody, you know, in Florida. I was on a Zoom, and they said, I just wanted to give a shout out to Angie. She's now the president of the Apartment Association. And so I thought, wow, you know, people are taking notice of the great strides and different appointments that the Apartment Association is making. And so, yes, Apartment Association has made their mark. They're going to continue to make their mark. And I just am very excited to be in this position and be able to work with the wonderful staff there.
Absolutely. I think it's just, for the Apartment Association to have somebody like yourself that has, dedicated themselves to, not just this industry, but this, the affordable housing component of it. It's just, we're so lucky as an organization to have someone like you. And it really, I think, goes to show what, our association and its members are really all about, and it's not the reputation that we so often get. So we're very lucky to have you. And, I'm curious with your, the second half of your presidency here, still ahead of you. What would you like to accomplish in that time?
We have some strategic initiatives that overall AAMD is trying to achieve, but the past president, Janelle French, she made it quite clear that, she would like to continue. She made a very great impact on recognizing the site teams, and what they need and what they bring to the table. And so I want to carry that on to focus on the folks who are in the trenches every day. They're the ones that really make it happen. And so to make sure that they have the necessary training and have events that they can go to. Because, we're in a stressful time period. We have been these past 2 years, but the Apartment Association has made sure their members have an outlet. And so that's great. And I want to continue on with that. And the staff is making sure that we serve our members to the highest degree.
Yeah, I love that platform of continuing to get the on-site teams involved. They are our true front lines, right? Mm-hmm. And they're also our future. Yeah. So they're the people that are going to be sitting in your seat one day and, tuning in right now and saying, oh my gosh, I could be president of the Apartment Association and I could be making an impact with affordable housing and providing homes. For you, Angie, when you look back over your career, and I'm sure you've had many, but what are some of the best memories that will probably make it into your book that you end up writing? But what are some of those career highlight memories so far?
I first and foremost, I want to make sure people understand that their dreams can become reality. I started at the sites. I was clerical help and worked my way up. And so I love just telling people my story and the example that I am here today, living, breathing, to show you that it can be done. But I think the most amazing thing is that I've had some wonderful mentors in my life. They have pushed me when I didn't want to be pushed, have said you should take this training, and I didn't want to take the training. And now that I look back, over my career, I could see why these wonderful individuals pushed me the way they did. Obviously, they must have seen something that I didn't see. And I try to give back as well. I see people in my company who may not see that they have that future to sit in my shoes, to be the director. And I push them. I try to tell them to make a plan so that they can achieve their dreams. And so I guess that's my biggest takeaway, is that, I just have had some wonderful mentors that have really pushed me and taught me all kinds of things and enabled me to be where I am today.
Absolutely. I think, it's a common theme throughout this podcast. In fact, we always ask everyone, like, who are some of those mentors that you've had for this exact reason? Because, for everyone, it really hits home as like that is truly what drives us in our career, is finding that good mentor that you can really grasp onto and help lead you. And so I guess, my question for you is, like, who are some of those people throughout your career that you would call out?
So I would call out, some are deceased, have passed away, but my first boss was Sister Mary Lucy Downey, and she was the one who taught me about the geese. I did a TED Talk at one of the AAMD annual retreats, and talked about how geese fly in formation, but they're always there. And if one falls back, then another geese falls back, so that they pump them and help them fly. So Sister Mary Lucy Downey, she was my first boss, and she taught me a lot. First and foremost, though, I want to say my mother. So she taught me a lot as well, to be the woman that I am today. But Sister Mary Lucy Downey was one, and Anna Strobel was another woman who helped me, and she made her mark here in Denver as well as an affordable housing cheerleader. And then the third one was Mary Boland. So she worked for Catholic Charities for a very long time, and she was my supervisor at one point in time as well. So, yes.
It's so special to have those influencers, positive influencers in your life, for sure. And two, that you retain those stories. It's interesting, right? All that we forget, but then also those little morsels along the way that we do remember, yes, and that we hold tight for a long time. It's special. Let's we're gonna get a little personal with Angie, a little more so when we come back. So let's take a quick break, and then we'll learn a little bit more about you, my dear.
Okay.
We're back. That was a quick one. So Angie, what's something or some things that people just may not know about you?
So I guess I know everybody's a Bronco fan, but I'm die-hard Bronco. Okay, I'm a stay on the bandwagon, win or lose, and it's very difficult in my household because I'm married to a Kansas City, Missouri native, so it's Chiefs Broncos, and there's always that issue. But I haven't converted him, and he hasn't converted me. I'm going to be Broncos all the way, all the way.
So it'd be fair to say if you got a little cut, that would be orange and blue coming out.
That is right. That is so true. So I love the Broncos.
You're in good company here.
Yeah.
I would, I dated a Bronco, but I am not going to tell who it was.
That's super cool, though.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Back in the, I'm dating myself. So when it was Orange Crush days, I did date a Bronco. So.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is. And a related question, because we're all Broncos fans here, because we're also all three Colorado natives.
That's right.
What are some of your favorite things about Colorado?
The sunshine. So somebody says we get 300 plus days of sunshine a year. And we can get a snowstorm in the morning, and then on our way home, it's all melted. So I do love the sunshine here. And the mountains. I'm not a skier, but I still love the mountains. So it's just an overall wonderful place to live and raise your children. People are friendly here. The state is clean. People laugh when I say that, but the streets are clean, and it's just a good place to live.
It's so interesting. I think too, for all of us, like when you grow up here, the point you make about the sunshine, you just don't realize that other places don't experience that until you actually go even live a few months somewhere, or because of vacation, you don't quite get to realize that. Or you listen to the people who come to our state and they're like, I can't believe how sunny it is all the time. So
yes.
So true. So true. All right. So if you had a superpower, what would it be?
I always say I would like to be a fly on the wall. So if I had a superpower, I'd like to be invisible. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think I could take advantage of that in my personal life and here at work. Yeah.
I'm sure. A lot of parents that way too.
Yeah.
What is your favorite holiday and why?
So my favorite holiday is Christmas. And the reason why is I'm born 3 days after Christmas. And so I get an extra special celebration during that time. So I really play it up, and then you get birthdays. So I love the Christmas season because that means my birthday is 3 days later and I get to celebrate even more.
That's perfect. You celebrate the whole month. For a second, I was like, might she say opening day of Bronco season? Oh, no, it's so fun. It's so fun learning about everybody. Okay, our walk-off home run question. What advice, and you've given advice throughout this, but if you wanted to leave people with that last morsel or a couple of morsels, what advice would you give somebody just starting out in the industry?
To don't throw in the towel. Like I had indicated earlier, no 2 days are alike. You may have a tenant come in and shout at you, say not so nice things, and even call you a name or two that your mother did not name you. But, you go home and you sleep on it. You come back the next day, and then you get those Mrs. Smiths who say, this is the nicest apartment I've ever had. So, you know, it can be trying sometimes dealing with residents. But I would say just don't give in, and that you could really make a career of this, a career where it gives you satisfaction, and, you know, you make a great salary depending on what you do. And being in property management, there are just a multitude of opportunities. You know, you can be in the finance department, you can be in the real estate department and build things, you can be in the property management department, you can be in the compliance department. So, you know, you just have to figure out what is your niche and what you like and what is your passion. But the main thing is, you know, don't throw in the towel so easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great advice. Well, yeah, thank you so much for joining us here. You've been awesome to have on here. Have an amazing story, and really appreciate all your time here today.
Well,
I don't think people realize either, you know, Angie, that all the opportunity that is in our industry. So thank you for saying that. And yes, to Ian's point, thank you so much for being on this with us. This has been special, and it's gone way too fast. And you know, it's been a great way to end our season 2. And we'll be back after the holidays and Angie's birthday.
Exactly.
You just keep celebrating and keep cheering on our Broncos. And we appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you do for the industry, Angie.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a great pleasure. Go Broncos and go AAMD and DHA.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.